TV channel. An empowered woman is someone who knows her strengths and isn't afraid to embrace it. We invite you to join us as we introduce you to a community of South African businesswomen who inspire change through conversations and who also wish to empower other women by sharing their stories. Thank you for tuning into our channel. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Good afternoon and good morning in some cases, depending on where in the world you are. I'm your host, Brijetti Limbanda from Cape Town in South Africa. So please do let us know in the comments where you are joining us from. I'm a global goodwill ambassador, a live stream host, producer, and I help brands, networks, and social good communities create great digital storytelling experiences. My guest today is Yolanda Mabuto. Yolanda is the founding director and CEO of Divine Growth Solutions, a professional organization in the energy sector that provides consultancy work and efficient project management services, as well as addressing gender equality challenges. Yolanda has held senior leadership roles at Eskom, our power utility here in South Africa. So she's held these roles within the power sector and the Association of Municipal Utility Electricity. Yolanda is actively serving at the BRICS Business Council under the Clean Energy and Green Economy Working Group. She holds executive positions in various gender advocacy, education, socioeconomic growth drive within the continent. She sits on different boards and holds a number of advisory positions. As a person, Yolanda is passionate about economic development, leadership, and social developments that are targeted at youth and women. She holds a qualification from UCT Graduate School of Business. She's an education and economic activist and a pioneer for women's advancement. Yolanda is also a multiple award winner who has been featured in international and local publications. So let's not waste any time. I'm going to invite Yolanda to the show. Yolanda, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you so much for having me.
Great to have you here today. So we're not going to waste any time because we have lots of questions for you.
Awesome.
You are an accomplished businesswoman and you've got a lot to share. So to kick us off, walk us through your entry into the boardroom, because there's many people out there, young women in particular, business women, wondering how do you get into the boardroom, because it's still a male-dominated world. Walk us through your process of getting there.
Awesome. Well, I think for me, the first step of getting to be introduced in the boardroom was when I was working for Eskom. And I guess as a woman, if we want to rise and be empowered and connect ourselves with the leaders, whether it's a male or female, we've got to be able to have the hearts of servants. I was within the investment committee of Eskom, which was very much male dominant. But for me, I was not really scared by that, by the fact that the most majority of members were males. Actually, I was looking forward to add value and have a female touch in it, adding to the number of females that were there. And also from there, that's where I realized that actually we are scared of the beast that is not there. Because if we show up as confident as we are and knowing the contents that will be speaking about, there's nothing to be scared about. Actually, it's more about to learn. So from there, I've opened, my portfolio, making sure that I add value to other board members, other board platforms. It doesn't really have to be a paid for board engagement. You just need to open yourself up, because as you open yourself up, you are learning in the process. So that was my first, I would say, board entry within ESCOM, which I learned a lot from. And then from then on, more came on board because I raised my hand and said, I'm willing to serve. As I'm serving, I'm learning.
That was an important thing that you raised there. You know, it's very often we have these perceptions or demons, and they live only in our minds and our heads. Um, and if we can overcome that, so you're saying if we can overcome that, we can get our entry into the boardroom, that it's not as scary a place as we think it may be.
Absolutely. It's not as scary as we imagine to be. It's all about taking the first step and saying, I am willing and ready to serve, and be bold about it, and not shy around and feeling as if you are not sure of who you are. For me, the first thing you must be sure of is who you are and what you are bringing into the table. Because being a board member is not just sitting around the round table or the rectangular table. It's all about adding value. It's all about adding value. It's all about learning. It's all about learning from outside the boardroom and bringing your learnings inside the boardroom where people can actually see your value and feel your presence. Because for me, as women, we need to be felt when we are in the room. And being felt doesn't mean you have to be loud. You can be felt even though you are silent, but you're adding value because of the expertise that you are bringing into the space.
Yolanda, what are the practical steps? If anyone that's watching the show now, if you are a young woman, what practical steps can you take to get into the boardroom?
First of all, like I said before, for me, raising up your hand and say, I'm willing to serve in any platform, be it's a small committee, because big things start small. Even if it's a small committee within your organization, you say, I'm willing to serve, I'm willing to add value. We must not wait for things to be paid for us to be able to get involved. Get involved, even if it's voluntarily. In that process, you are learning. And as you learn, you take your learning to the next level. Because from that small committee, someone there will actually look at you and observe how you conduct yourself in that space. And maybe something would come up where there's a bigger boardroom or there's a bigger committee where you can be selected because of the value you've played in a very small scale committee that you've been part of. And I always say to the ladies and guys that I mentor, I always tell them, never underestimate small things that you are doing, small incremental changes that you are doing in your life. Because at the end of the day, when you look at the map of your goals or your life, you'll be amazed of how those small steps have actually helped you to achieve the greater goals that you have achieved.
Yolanda, my next question is a bit of a hot potato, especially within our South African context.
Yes.
How has Black economic empowerment affected the role of women in business? Do you feel that for women, and in particular for women of color, that it may possibly devalue your worth if that's the basis on which you were brought into a business or taken into the boardroom?
Well, Bridget, it's twofold. It depends on how much wisdom you have, because I believe there was value in bringing in the BEE in our country. The government was trying to sort of make up for the wrongs that happened in the past. We can't run away from that. But now the activities within the BEE depends on we as women and how, when we get those roles or when we get those tenders or opportunities or those contractors, or those contracts rather, how are we then showing up? Because they can take you and put you in that role saying it's a trophy role or it's a trophy project. But it depends how you then, when you get into that project, how you step up and make a name for yourself and kill the notion that it was just a trophy. We're just ticking the compliance box. It will depend on how you, as a woman who is valuing herself, as a woman who have goals, how you are then making sure that you are making a change. You are adding value, you are learning, and you are sort of getting people on board as well. Because I believe in growing in numbers as we grow. We can't grow alone. We can't solve the global challenges in silo mindsets. I believe in where we learn as a unit and grow together. So for me, really, it's about how are you then stepping up to that role that you've been placed into.
Yolanda, in this day, we're, where we are now in 2019, why do you think economic or women economic empowerment is still a topic for conversation? Why have we not yet bridged that gap?
It is because there has not been many, I would say, radical steps that have been taken to ensure, and I know it will take us a number of years to ensure that we close the gender parity. That much I know, but I also know that if we do something now for the next generation, we would somehow find a fair difference between, the genders. And I believe it's important not to sugarcoat these things and talk about these things and be bold about saying, actually, I am here to make a change. I am here to ensure that females are empowered in any sector across. And I know there are sectors where we can't even touch them because they are known to be male dominant. Therefore, if you're a woman and you are there, you are being looked down upon. But we have to rise up and say, I'm a woman, I am going to go there and I'm going to make a change. I'm going to give them another perspective of females within the sector. And I believe it is still relevant even in 2019 to talk about women empowerment, to talk about how do we ensure that girls, not only women, girls are empowered so that they know their role, they know their place. Because we've been told for a number of years that women are belonging to the kitchen and to the household, and they should do supportive roles, or administrative roles. Gone are those times now. We are facing the fourth industrial revolutions. We are facing rather the change within a number of sectors, including the sector that I play in, the energy sector. It's changing. So therefore, it needs the women, because even the sector on its own is run by women, because most people who are using power are women in the household, because they cook, they do the washing, they do the ironing, they do everything. So basically, how then can we not involve them in those policy changes? How then are we not involving in ensuring how do we move as the sector, as the country to the next level, because they are the users, of energy.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. So in the same vein, how do you think women can make a contribution to growing our economy?
By supporting each other. Women should support each other. I can't stress that more than what I am now. We should support each other as women. Yes, we do find males who are supporting us. And I always say, we are not here to fight with our counterparts. We're not here to fight with males, but we are here to say, how do we then move forward together as males and females in trying to change the world that we all live in? So for me, if we stress the support around women and stop this pull head down syndrome and start acknowledging each other and the roles that we play. And if you see something that could be good for Yolanda or for Bridget, you say, Bridget, I've met so and so. Can I connect you with them? Maybe there's something that will come out from your connection. I mean, for me, I don't have to know you personally to support you. You are a woman. You are willing to serve. You are hungry. You've got this zeal. You want to change. Supporting each other is the only way for us women to make sure that we forge forward and we make the impact and the change that we want to see in the world.
I like that. I really like that. So your company, Divine Growth Solutions, you've got a women empowerment program. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how women could get involved or benefit from it?
Awesome. We've got a women empowerment program. As you know, Divine Growth Solutions, one of the pillars that we have is the gender equality, because again, we've seen across sectors that women are not much represented. So we have the program called the Women Power Boss. It is looking at females within the power sector. For now, this is the first cohort that is looking at the women within the power sector to ensure that we create market access for them. We create platforms for them to rise and shine and meet the world. Because one thing that I've noticed with SMEs is that they sit in their own corner, in their own silos, with no one actually, and there are other companies who are actually doing something to ensure that they empower SMEs, but we need more. Hence, this program came on board and said, we're adding value in the energy space because we're here. So it's all about market creation, making sure that they are able to penetrate market locally and globally. Because sometimes we always say, how about first looking at your local market? Sometimes some products that these SMEs are having as offerings are really good for global companies. That's the truth. So how do we ensure that we position them in those platforms? We also have networking events because we believe in networking. Because if you don't network, your net worth might struggle to grow. So if you want your net worth to grow, network, go out there, meet the world, meet people that will take you from this angle to the next angle. So we have this event, the program that is running for 18 months. We've got 13 females within the energy sector that are the participants or beneficiaries of this program. It's a national program. It's not province-based. We've got ladies from Johannesburg. We've got ladies from Eastern Cape, Cape Town, and Pretoria. So it's a national program that is aiming at adding value. And luckily, we've partnered with the government because we went to the government because we don't believe in always complaining and saying the government is not doing something. How are we doing, or what are we doing to ensure that we are working with the government? So we went to the department and we proposed, and they wrote back to us saying, actually, what you are bringing is an implementation solution for this sector. So we will be working with you, and they've partnered with us. They've endorsed the program. They're supporting every initiative that we're doing. So that's one of the key roles we're playing in ensuring that we include gender within the sector, because gender mainstreaming has to happen in each and every sector. And now we're starting with energy, and we are coming for more sectors.
Yolanda, so if there's anyone watching now and they want to apply to join the program, how do they do that?
So we are starting the applications again in December, and they are closing January because the second cohort will start in March. So we will be communicating all the activities and how people should apply and where they should get in touch with us. We've got a Facebook page. We've got a website as well. It's www.divinegrowthsolutions.co.za, and I'm sure you will share it after the show. So we are really much accessible if people want to know more about the program, be it being part of the program as someone who supports the program or being part of the program as a beneficiary, because we want more women to come on board and say, I need help. Because one of the things is that people don't come and say, I'm failing here, or I'm struggling here. How do I move forward? And we've got to allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough to say, hey guys, I need help. I need someone who can connect me with a certain, connection or department, or because it's all about, helping each other, focusing on how do we grow each other? How do we support each other? Because we'll never know who you're sitting with in the same table.
Absolutely. Networking, I don't think we can stress it enough. Network.
Absolutely.
So you've got an event coming up soon. Tell us a little bit about that event quickly.
We've got an event coming up on the 30th of August. Again, in the spirit of celebrating the Women's Month, it's part of Divine Growth Solutions. It's called the Global Business Women Circle. Again, we are creating a circle, and we want this circle to be bigger. So the Women Power Boss is a small circle, but we want even a bigger circle where even other women from other countries can come on board and add value and show us how do we tap into other markets, global markets. How do we support? We've partnered with the Embassy of Sweden and Embassy of Canada and IDC in ensuring that this event is successful. And we've also partnered with another global brand called Pursue Your Purpose, that is led by Tamiko Kuela from USA. So we're really cutting out borders. We don't want to see any borders. We've got to be able to create a flat world where we are able to tap into each other's wisdoms and see how we can support each other as countries, as continents. So that's basically about the event. We want women to come. There's no charge, it's by invitation only. But if you are a businesswoman and you want to hear more how you can grow your business, who you can contact if you want to tap into a different market, it's across sectors. It's not sectoral based, because when we ran the Power Boss program, we had a number of requests from other countries. They're wanting to be part of this program. And unfortunately for now, it's for South Africa. That's when we see, actually, we've got to create this circle even more bigger and ensure that we allow other countries as well to tap into and bring their expertise and bring, the gaps from their countries and say, this is the gap that we have as a country. Who in South Africa can actually come in and service us? Here is a market, it's untapped. We need people from other countries to come and service us. So basically, it's a conversation that we are creating and say, let's move forward. It's an association for women to network and be able to know, if I need this type of services, this is where I tap into. That's the event on the 30th.
Fantastic. So people can find information about this on your website?
Yes, they can find it on our website. They can find it on our Facebook page as well.
Fantastic. Yolanda, if you had to give advice to your 20-year-old self, what would that be?
It will be, Yolanda, get up, ask when you don't know, show up into the world, raise your hand to serve, and run. Take the baton and run. Give it to the next person when you've reached the level, when you feel like, I've reached this one, I need to move forward. Give it to the next person, because selfishness in any way does not serve anyone. It's all about, as you have received what you were looking for, help the next person. Be hungry for change. Be hungry for, when you see challenges, don't let them defeat you. See a challenge, but behind it, see a solution. What type of solution can I bring for this challenge? It's all about how you look at life. Look at life as a challenge that you, as Yolanda, the 20-year-old Yolanda, can solve. Don't look at life and say, I'm defeated. I cannot get to the next level. Actually, let those challenges be something that creates hunger within you to want to do beyond what you think you can do.
I think that's great advice to yourself. So to end our conversation today, I've got one or two fun questions for you. Tell us, are you a paper or a plastic kind of person?
Wow. Paper or plastic? Well, I know it's fun, but I'm very environmental conscious. So maybe I am a bit of paper.
I think that's a great answer. A very environmentally friendly answer. My next question is, who inspires you?
Wow. My mother. My mother inspires me because, when I look back, at the things that she has done, not only for me, but for her siblings, because if she didn't take the steps that she took, I would not be where I am today. She had me when she was young. She was never selfish and thinking about herself, but she endured the shame, of being looked at as this young girl who's pregnant. But little did the world know that she was carrying a bomb. That is Yolanda. So even on top of that, she took bold steps. At that time, they were bold. But when someone is looking at those steps now, they are looking at as if they are minor steps. But for me, they are bold steps that she took. And if she had not taken those steps, I would not be sitting with you today and having this amazing conversation that is going to touch lives around the world. So she is my inspiration, everyday inspiration.
Wonderful. Yolanda, what is your most used app on your phone right now?
Oh, my word. Isn't it WhatsApp? It's WhatsApp. It's funny because sometimes we just run meetings on WhatsApp and you're like, hey, is this for real? But it's quick, it's easy, it's accessible. So for me, the most used app is WhatsApp.
Okay, my last question. What is the top thing on your bucket list right now?
My top thing is to travel abroad. Specifically, I want to go to USA and establish my organization in USA. So that's my
Your top priority.
Top priority.
Yolanda, this was fun. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, telling us a little bit about your women empowerment program and how people can join it. So anybody who's interested in the program that Divine Solution is running, go and have a look on their website, on their Facebook page, and also about the event that's coming up shortly. Yolanda, thank you so much. I want to say thank you very much to our live audience today. Thank you to everyone on LinkedIn who's watching us. I see there's currently about 6 people watching us. Thank you so much for joining us live. Please do share, because Yolanda shared some amazing advice for business women out there and anyone who wanting to enter the corporate space. Yolanda, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, everyone, and goodbye for now.